the 57s category. Yeah? And Mike isn't meant to be on it, it's for the YouTube. You're good? Coming up first in the 57s, can we get a round of applause for Sophie Kenerly and Hannah Fitzgerald, please? I can't use it, it's got to be the YouTube. There's a microphone up there. So you will probably need to be slightly loud because those mics just are for the YouTube. You'll not hear them through the speakers. So be loud and just hold it down a wee bit.
Hello.
Just be loud when you answer.
I'll be loud. Just pretend we don't have a microphone.
Sophie, I'm going to start with you, okay?
Oh, great, okay.
Can you be loud?
Is that okay?
As long as you're loud. We're good? We're good.
Okay.
Sophie, you were first at Brits and second in Worlds 2023. Been quiet on social media with regards to your training. How are you feeling for the weekend?
Yeah, mostly good. There's a couple of sticky events that have been a bit of a work in progress. Log and bag throw. Log's gotten better. Bag throw's gotten a little bit better, but not much.
Not much.
Yeah, everything else has been okay.
You train in Shetland, so obviously, how was the travel on the way down, back and forth?
Yeah, it was actually fine for once.
No way. Right. They obviously said there was a couple of sticking points on events, so what events are you most looking forward to at the weekend?
Deadlift and yoke into axle.
Yoke into axle?
Yeah.
Hannah, I'm going to come to you quickly. So, second at Brits, third at Worlds. You've had a busy year as well. 2 World Championships, 3 national across 3 different sports.
Yeah,
it's
been a very busy year. So I started the year with the Arnold's World Championships in the States. I then went and did the UKNS Nationals, into the British Powerlifting Championships, into the British Weightlifting Championships, and now here. So yes, it's been pretty busy.
Do you think that sort of schedule keep you in good condition for a 2-day comp and 8 events?
Yeah, I think so, and I think it's also been in a good order in terms of how I've trained for each one. And I've been really lucky as well that the way the competitions have fallen is that I have had a decent amount of prep time.
Right, cool.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Are we going to start again?
Small technical problem.
Yeah.
These mics are push.
Hello. Hello. Maybe you can hear me now. Hello.
Give them a proper round of applause, now, folks.
Can we start again?
You can start again if you want, but what you've missed is Hannah saying she's going to smash Sophie all over the place. Sophie says bring it on. So, we can start again. So, Sophie, first at Brits 2024 and second in Worlds. Quiet on social media. How was training for it?
Yeah, it's been mostly pretty good. There's been a couple of sticky events. Log and bag throw haven't really gone my way a lot of the time, but they're getting there. Hopefully it'll go good for us.
Events you're looking forward to this weekend?
Yoke into axle and deadlift.
The yoke into axle is a bit of a sticky event because there'll be more technical with what kit you're using. Does it take you a bit of time to figure that out?
Yeah, well, kind of. The first time I tried it, I kind of liked the kit I was using, so I just kind of stuck with it, but I pretty much just wear everything. So I have like knee sleeves, underbelt, belt, wrist strap.
You do the yoke in your lifters or you go with flats?
Flats.
Flats.
Controversial.
Hannah, I'll give you the same question to you then before I start on yours. Are you going flats or lifters?
I'm going lifters.
Lifters.
I'm going lifters.
So, Hannah, you've had a very busy year as well. Second at Brits, third at Worlds.
Got it. Right.
Multiple mics.
Yeah.
One for each World Championship you've done this year. Tell us a wee bit about your schedule.
Yeah, so it's been quite a busy year for me. So I started by doing the Arnold's World Championships at the beginning of the year, then went in to do a few qualifiers and then the British Powerlifting Championships. Then into before that I did the UKNS Nationals, then into the British Powerlifting Championships, then into the British Weightlifting Championships, and now into this World Championships.
How do you find the time to train for 8 events over 2 days when you've got such a busy schedule?
I have to make it work. I never say it's sacrifice, it's always compromise.
So I'm going to ask this question to both of you, so I'll start with Hannah, and once Hannah is done, you can pass that floating mic over to Sophie. Hannah, with Willow now out, obviously she's moved up a category, there's shoes to fill in the top spot. Does that bring more pressure or less pressure for the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're quite glad that Willow's moved up. She's a cracking athlete, so yeah. But to be honest, I think for me, the focus isn't on what everyone else is doing. The focus has got to be on me. So whether Willow's there or not, I've got to just think about, what I've got to achieve.
Sophie, similar question to you. Is this all about what you can do on the day? No focus on what happened last year?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with everything that Hannah said. But it is nice having Willow out the game. She was so bloody good. She's insane.
You heard them, Willow, don't come back.
Yeah.
The 57s is a relatively new category, so how big do you see it getting over the next few years, and can you see it growing like the 73s, which was a relatively new category only up until the last 8-10 years ago?
Yeah, definitely. I think the last year just shows how much it's grown. So hopefully it carries on. And then we've got someone coming from the USA, I think, as well, which is really good. So, hope so. I think it will.
And obviously the same question back to Hannah, and that'll be the last question for the 57s. Hannah, how do you see it growing, the 57 category, and is there anything like promoters and we can do to help it grow?
Yeah, so it's definitely on the up, which is great. Obviously, we've got more athletes competing this year, and in the nationals as well, we had more 57s competing. So it's nice to see girls coming into the sport. Obviously, I was fortunate enough to compete in the States at the beginning of the year in the under 125 pounds, which is about the same as the 57s. And again, that was the second year they'd done that weight class over there, and more girls were coming through. So, yeah, I think positive growth. And it's nice as well that you see, like, obviously, I'm very fortunate competing in the other strength sports. We have the lower weight classes. Powerlifting, I compete at 57s. So I know there's athletes out there. It's just getting them to make that move to the better side.
Thank you both for your time, and a round of applause for both our ladies in the 57s.
Well done, mate. Put these down.
Just stick them on the chairs. So for folk who can't see what we're doing, we've got the mic that you can hear through where I've got, and athletes, when you come up, there'll be a road mic, which will be the mic you hold next to it. So that'll be the floating mic, and there's 2 mics on the stage. So, coming out in the 64s, can we get a round of applause for 3 ladies? We've got Willow, Carly, and Zena. I'm going to start with Willow, so can Willow get the other? Aye, that's it.
Hello.
Hello. Willow, how was the water cut?
It was non-existent.
Boo that woman right now. Every other weight class athlete's on a cut. So, Willow, I mentioned you in the 57s. How is the mindset this year changing categories, and does it change your approach to this weekend?
I think that initially when I moved up, I expected I'd be right at rock bottom, and that would probably be grafting for a while until I was statically strong enough to hold my own. But I felt like UK's, which I won, that wasn't the case. Obviously, this is a much bigger pool with bigger fishes, and I'm a very small fish. But yeah, I'm feeling confident about what I can do, and I'm hoping to put on a good show.
Was it a hard choice moving up the weight categories?
Not necessarily. I really enjoyed being in the 57s, but
yeah, it felt like the right choice.
Won no, I didn't win Scotland's because I was injured. I won UK's and then Worlds, and then I did a record breaker, or setter. It was more like a record setter, to try and, yeah, build some hype in the 57s, and then I wanted a bit more of a challenge, so here I am.
We'll get your last question here, and then I think I've got one for a couple of you. Will you be coaching and competing this weekend? I know you've got a couple of clients as well, so will you find it hard to balance that if you're coaching and competing?
I have a client in the 57s, Lizzie. I'm really excited to see what she can do. She was third at UK's, but she has come on a lot in this prep. I actually prefer it. That's something I've learned, is that it is a healthy distraction. I know when it's time for me to divert my attention back to myself, and I know when it's time to give some of that energy away, and it's a balance I like to strike. So I'm excited.
Thank you. Can you hand the microphone to Carly, please? Hi, Carly.
Hello.
So, Carly, you've just finished competing at the Shaw Classic. How was that in the last week been for you?
Yeah, so that was last weekend. I started out the weekend with a tightness in my back, so my log did not go well. I actually zeroed the log. So it's a rough start to the competition. The rest of the events went really well. And so this week has really just been relaxing a little bit and weight cutting and traveling across the world.
How do you find that the travel and the weight cut maybe affects you for a weekend of 8 events over 2 days?
The sleep schedule has not been affected, so that stayed consistent. Weight cuts can always impact, but been eating all day, so hopefully that helps.
So obviously, this is the first year we've had American athletes. The natty scene in America has... How big is the natty scene in America? Can we see it get bigger over the next few years?
I'm really hoping it gets bigger. That's one reason that I came and that I'm participating, is that I'm hoping it'll continue to grow. I've heard comments about people not wanting to go pro because they don't want to dive into, taking supplements so I'd really like to see it grow just as an opportunity.
So do you think more people will see it as a better choice, given that obviously going pro comes along with certain connotations and having to live up to a certain level of strength?
I'm hoping it's just something they can do at the same time. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing USS, Strongman Corp. Now I'm doing natural. I'm just do it all.
Thank you. I will ask you to pass the mic to Zina, please.
Thank you.
Zina, you won under 63 Worlds Ultimate. It's been a good year so far. How do you see this weekend going?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a pretty rough prep, I guess, because of some injuries, some issues with my lock technique, but nevertheless, I hope to be successful, to be pretty competitive. We have a really stacked lineup in the 64 class. And yeah, I think Ultimate, that was 2 months ago, and that were other events. We have 8 events here now, and this has advantages and also disadvantages, because you can maybe fail at one event, but also get points in other events and have a at least better result as an outcome, but it's also much more exhausting. So, yeah.
Have you ever done a comp schedule like this with the 8 over 2 days?
No, I've had 6 over 3 days at OSG Europe's last year, and OSG Worlds 2 years ago with the first 2 days, 4 events.
So obviously, I'm going to lead into what's happening in the 73s, but you've got Camilla obviously doing the 64s as well. So this is a question for all of you, anybody who wants to answer. Do you see yourselves doing something similar, and do you think it will affect Camilla doing the 16 events over the 2 days? So,
I think Camilla is a monster in the most positive meaning. I think she's a role model for every one of us, and yeah, probably all of us see her on first place, but nevertheless, I think it would be a highlight, at least for me, to maybe steal 1 or 2 event wins from her. So this is going to be the main goal for me this weekend, besides just having fun and doing the best I can. And I mean, we will all see what it's worth in the end on the board.
Willow, Carly, would either of you two consider doing a double category weekend?
Absolutely not. That is pure madness. We have another good friend with us here in the Masters who you might talk to if you're lucky, but she's also doing 2 categories.
She's coming up as well.
And it is a special punishment reserved for only the most sadistic people. I'm under no illusions about my abilities this weekend in both the best and other senses. I, like Sina, think I'm capable of taking a point, maybe 1 point off of Camilla. I'm excited to see where I am with these amazing women. To be honest, it's going to be really cool.
I would definitely consider it. I mean, I went back to back last weekend with a shot, and then this one. I did the same thing in the spring to qualify for this one. I had 3 comps back to back to back. I've never done 2 on the same day, but if somebody encouraged me or gave me a little elbow, I'd sign up.
Absolutely awesome. Can we get a round of applause for 64 ladies? We're going to get the Masters women up now, so can we get a round of applause for Gail, Miikey and Jennifer? I'm sorry if I absolutely butchered that name. Micah. Thank you, Stephen. We're going to start with Gail, so Gail, can you take the road mic and one of the stage mics? Thank you. Gail, last year's champ. Straight to the point, how do you see your chances of defending your title this weekend?
Well, do you know, good as anyone else's. I think there's lots of girls that I've never competed against, I know very little about, so all I can do is focus on me, know what I can do, and go and do that.
You're used to a heavy schedule this year. You done UKs and then went straight home and done Irelands, is that right?
Yeah, I had like a day between.
Day between? So a day between, you came second at Ireland's. So do you think that sort of schedule will help you for this weekend?
Yeah, again, I come from, rugby and CrossFit background, so that underlying fitness, I'm hoping as well, ability to recover in between events, and hopefully that'll see me through, yeah.
The Masters has usually been a small category, but it's much, much bigger this year. Are you excited to see the growth and the amount of females you get to go up against?
Absolutely. The more the merrier, I think, and it's brilliant to see, Masters being really competitive, which it absolutely is. So, yeah, absolutely. Get the more in, absolutely.
Thank you very much. Can I move to Micah, please? Micah, I'm going to start with a congratulations to you. Just graduated as a nurse, I believe.
What do you
Graduated as a nurse recently.
Yeah?
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Was it hard balancing training for this and doing the nursing?
Well, during my study?
Yes.
Yeah. It was a challenge. But...
This was the first year there was a qualifier in Holland. Exciting times for the natural scene in Holland then? First year that there's been a qualifier that you've been able to come compete.
With this competition?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't. I just did for the Holland competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years.
Can you see it getting bigger over the next few years? Growing?
Yeah. It was the first time I competed in a strongman, so everything was new for me. So every time something's come on my way, and then I pick it up or not.
Clearly very talented. What events are you looking forward to this weekend?
The keg loading. In training it was fun to do. And I think the yoke and axle.
Yoke and axle. Can I ask you to give the mic to Jennifer, please? Thank you very much. Jennifer, 51 years young, I believe.
Yes, 51.
How are you feeling for the weekend?
I'm feeling ready to stand up to the challenge, and I'm really looking forward to competing with so many Masters women who I've never met before. 12
years doing Strong Women, I believe you said?
12 years.
So, again, similar with this being the first qualifier in Holland, are you excited that there's now a natural pathway for athletes like yourself?
So yes, our natural qualifier was in the US in New Jersey, which is my home state, so it was easy to get to and to work hard to qualify, but looking forward to the sport growing naturally for the US strong women, especially Masters women.
As I said to Gail, it's a big field and you have added a lot of quality. How do you see your chances this weekend?
You know, there are a lot of points up for grabs. We have 16 women, I believe, and that's a lot of points over 2 days. So I'm here to do my best and give it all a try. That's it.
Thank you very much, ladies. Can we get a round of applause for the 73s? The Masters, sorry. They could all quite easily be 73s. We're going to move to the 73s now. Can we get Wendy Woo, Camilla and Christina up on stage, please? Camilla, we're going to start with you, so grab the road mic, please.
How am I going to sing? Shit. I'm not that talented. Oh my God, I'm not going to look at people.
Christina? Is Christina here for the 73s? No? We just run with the two. So, Camilla, obviously made a bit of note about you doing 2 of categories, 16 events. How are you feeling for the weekend?
Yeah, really excited to see how it goes. I haven't had the opportunity to do this before. I have asked lots of promoters lots of times if I could do it, but I got knocked back. So thank you guys for allowing me to do this. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how I'll pull it off and how it all goes. Yeah, how I recover.
73s is quite a stacked category. How are you feeling for that, and who are you looking forward to competing with this weekend?
I'm looking forward to competing with all of them. Like, I'm just excited to be here. Really stacked fields in both divisions. There's no one in particular. I mean, obviously, Chloe Brennan is a big name in the field, but you've got Laura Hollywood as well. And there's so many athletes that I don't know because, I haven't been able to compete internationally until December, and I've tried my hardest to do everything since then.
I was going to mention, so the amount of travelling and competing you've done in the last 10 months, how do you find the time to train for something like this?
This one in particular has been difficult, as I had chaos 4 weeks ago or something like that. So, it has been, it's hard, and I forget what events I've got coming up. And when people ask what's going on, sometimes I just don't know, and I get them mixed up between competitions. But I've done the best I can, so we will see.
So, pretty loaded question next. Chloe was last year's champion. Can you beat her?
I have no idea. No idea.
No idea.
We'll find out over the weekend.
We're not going for a prediction. We'll just see. Tune in and see.
I'm sorry?
Tune in and see, basically. Wait and see.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yep. It all just comes down to how it plays out on the days.
Thank you very much. We're going to move to Wendy. We've got both of these athletes are doing 2 categories. So, Wendy, a bit like Camilla, talk us through your decision, though, to do both categories. You're doing the 73s and the Masters.
Why no?
Why not?
Why no?
What did you actually say? Going up against the best in the 70s?
Fuck it, let's do it.
We get one more of them and then we get kicked off. You're obviously doing the 73s because there's a lot of athletes that you look up to. Who are you really looking forward to going up against this weekend in the category?
Them all.
Them all?
Them all. It's not even stacked, it's bursting. Like, it's great.
Have you got a target for the weekend over both categories?
Mix up the points.
Mix up the points. So you into cause chaos like you usually do?
Why not?
Absolutely. We've just had the Masters on. I'm going to ask for your predictions for that category.
Ooh. I'm going to say first and second, no particular order, Micah and Gail. I'm going to give a big shout out to Michelle McCleary, though. Michelle Leary from Scotland, who did the Natty Scotland on the other untested, because she's coming.
Absolutely. Ladies, thank you very much for your time. Give them a big round of applause. Next up, we're going to get the 82s up. So can we get Hannah, Hope and Megan up on stage? Megan, since you've got the mic, we'll start with you, okay?
Which one is it? Is it this one?
Both, just try and hold them. That's it. Tandem it.
Yeah, cheers for that.
Megan, you're a 3 times Australian under 82 champ and you come in with a good pedigree. Are you here for a podium or are you here straight up for first place? She can't even hold a mic. She's there for a taking.
Sorry, what was your question again?
I said you've come in with a very good pedigree, 3 times Australian champion.
Yeah.
Are you coming for first place, podium? What's the plans this weekend?
Well, what do I come in for? Well, what do you ladies fly halfway around the world for? I fly halfway around the world to come last place.
That's what I do at comps.
Of course I want to come first. Actually, to be honest, I would love to sneak in on the podium, even if it's third. I've never podiumed at a world event, so that would be really cool for me.
Again, similar to the ladies in the Holland and the American style,
Yeah.
the natural scene, is it new in the Australian circuit?
Yes. This was the first year where we were able to have a qualifier. So we've been asking for it for a long time. So there were no other options for us to compete except for at OSG and that. And there were only so far you could take that as a natural. Yeah.
How do you feel with the long travel? And did you cut for this weekend?
Oh, I cut about 1.5 kilos.
Right, so the cut.
But that was very traumatic for me. I get very vulnerable. With 2 things in life is cutting and the leg press.
Right.
Yeah, and I was really emotional.
So next year you want a Shaw Classic style leg press with a car?
Do you know what? I am hearing impaired and I have no fucking idea what you just said. I need to read your lips, and when you have an accent, your accent doesn't match your face. Especially with a beard.
I'm going up the road.
I'll just nod my head. Yep.
Who are you excited of going head to head with over the weekend?
Oh, well, I have no idea, because I've never... It's funny you put me on the stage, because I was really looking forward to sneaking into a comp where no one knew me, and I knew no one, and there was no pressure on me, and then I got an email about this. I have no idea, because I don't know anyone. And it's really nice. Now everyone knows me.
So up until this point, where you get dragged on stage, it was going to be a stress-free weekend?
It was. It was stress-free.
I didn't send that email. Can you
Actually,
pass?
she was probably going to be stress-free until I got to the power stairs or the throwing bags. Don't stand near me during my throwing bag event, because during the qualifiers, I almost hit a baby in a pram.
That's an exclusive there.
No, I'm still getting messages from it today, and it was months ago. Don't hit the baby in the pram.
We'll see if we can get that video up on YouTube later
There's
on.
a video there too, trust me.
Thank you very much for your time. Can you pass the mic along one?
Oh, is this one?
Yep.
Thank you.
We're going to go to Hannah. Hannah, looking absolutely shredded up there. How was your cut? When's the bodybuilding show?
We're not doing that yet.
No yet?
Pip's not letting me cut down to 73 yet.
So on that bit saying about 73, would you do 2 categories?
If the capability is there, I'd do it. Not this weekend, but...
Apparently she's not allowed. I just looked at her coach and he said absolutely no. So you only started in the sport 10 months ago and you had no idea you even wanted to compete. How does it feel being on a world stage now, doing a press conference for Natural Worlds?
Well, I wasn't doing the press conference until an hour ago, so... it's a bit surreal. Like, I didn't see myself being here at all. Like I say, I didn't... my intentions weren't to compete in Strongman whatsoever. I just wanted a strength programme. and then I kind of got strong-armed into I just go for the natties in January, and then I came second. Then I done the UKs in May, came fourth with an invite to here, and now we're here.
Are you a bit gutted there's no stones this weekend? Do you like a stone comp?
I do like stones, but it's nice to mix it up a bit with different events.
How do you see your chances?
Hate them.
The throwing bag.
The throwing bags are horrible. If they go over, great. If they don't, it is what it is.
I spoke to you earlier on, it's very much you versus you this weekend, isn't it?
Absolutely. I only personally know Hope for GBA, and I know nobody else in the category, so I'm just up there just to see what I can do. And if I can scrape top 5, I'd be happy with that.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Can you pass the microphone on to Hope?
Please ask him to go.
Stephen's going to come and field questions to you, Hope.
No. He stays exactly where he is. There's no questions from him.
Hope, you've had a couple of years where you've done the 82s. Was it a better cut this year than recent years?
This one, yes, was a better cut. I had more than 1.5 kilos to drop, but yeah, it was much better. Didn't have to sit in a sauna this time, so happy days.
You just missed podium last year. How has the last 12 months been since that comp?
Good, yeah. I think I was originally really gutted that I just missed podium, but actually the other girls definitely deserved those places, so it was just one of those things. And I think it just makes me more determined, and I'm really looking forward to the 8 events because I think it'll chop and change all weekend about who sits in the top, so that'll be cool.
I believe this might be your last comp at 82s.
Why did you bring that up? No one knew that until right now.
You're moving up to Opens. How do you feel about the move?
I'm excited. I know fine well that there are some really strong girls in the 82s, but in the Opens especially, you think like Gemma, Ella, Ros, and some other people that I'm forgetting, but they're all powerhouses. So I will well and truly get my small arse handed to me when I move up to Opens, but I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Thank you very much for your time, ladies.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to the Open Women next. So can we get Anna, Roslin and Femke up? I hope I've not absolutely butchered that one as well. Sorry. Anna, I'm going to start with you first. So I was going to start with somebody else, but you came over and actually asked what your questions were, so I'm starting with you.
I've forgotten them now. Thanks.
And one of the, yep.
Oh, both? Okay.
Anna, it's been a good year so far. Are you looking forward to the 2 days of competing?
I am, yeah. I've never obviously done 2 days, so I feel like it's a good test to see how every event goes and how my endurance lasts.
It's been a busy-ish year for you schedule-wise.
Yeah, so this is like my first big year, and I think I've been doing it 18 months, and I did England's, and I've kind of entered just a lot of competitions to give it all a go, so yeah, it has been.
So similar to Hannah, did you see yourself on a world stage so soon after starting Strongman?
Definitely not, no. It's very different to rugby, but it's great to be here.
And note that you're not a massive fan of an overhead event, and there's obviously 2 this weekend.
Yeah.
How do you feel that affects you over the eight events? Have you trained harder for them this?
I've trained a lot of overhead, and I think it's a confidence thing. So I feel like I've got Ros, who I know is an amazing overhead lifter, and Ella, and yeah, I'm just going to give it my best. But I do like the yoke element, so hopefully that bit will go well, and the axle maybe.
Did you try different kit for the yoke, or did you literally just click and go with it?
I tried different things, so I've had a bit of a wobble with the yoke because I had a knee up a couple of years ago, so that kind of niggled at it, but I feel like I've got past that now. So.
Thank you for your time. Can you pass the mic to Femke now, please?
Happily.
Thank you. Femke, you've been to OSG Worlds already. How does Natural Worlds feel as an experience for you right now?
Yeah, I feel that it's really nice that there is a podium for the natural athletes, so I was really excited last year to hear that there was a podium for that, so that's why this year I wanted to try this road, so I'm really excited. Yeah.
What events would you say you're looking forward to this weekend?
I always like a good deadlift, so I'm looking forward to that. But I'm looking forward to all the events and see what I can do.
Did you know much about natural strong women before entering this year?
I didn't really know that it was a thing, so when I found out, I was really happy about it. So, yeah, that's what I know.
How do you see your weekend going over the 2 days?
I'm looking forward to see how I will react to 4 events a day, so how my recovery will be in those 2 days. But yeah, I think it's nice to have a stacked competition like this. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Can you pass the mic to Roslin, please?
Thank you.
Roslin, you're very much quite the opposite to Hannah, to Femke, sorry, to Anna, sorry. You love an overhead event, so you're looking forward to those events?
Yeah, I am. It's been a while since I've had a log ladder in a competition, and I think a log ladder is a really cool event to watch, and it gives, you know, like a rep event is cool, but you know, if you can't get one, then it's a bit disheartening. So it'll be class to see people going against each other who's just slightly faster than the other, and yoke into axle's an interesting event. I do enjoy it. It's a cool event, but it's a gassy event, so that'll also be cool to watch.
You were second last year. Can this be the year you go one better?
Maybe. It's a possibility, but yeah, it's a stacked lineup across all weight categories. So yeah, go out, have some fun, do my best, and see where that places me.
Who are you looking forward to competing against this weekend?
I think there's quite a few familiar faces in my weight category who I've had the pleasure of competing against. So it'll just be nice to compete against everyone. Obviously, Anna and I competed together at UK's for the first time. It was a great battle. Happy to do it again. And same with Femke. We competed at Euros together last year, and Sala last year as well. So yeah, it'll be really nice, and it'll be nice to have Ella there as well, and have a fellow Scot and GBA member to compete alongside too.
The log ladder will be particularly difficult. How many do you think, or do you see it being completed by most of the field?
It's a tricky one. I mean, it's a heavy log ladder. I think it's a big challenge. I think the last log will be a big winner for whoever manages to get it. It's a big number to be pressing over your head. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Thank you very much, ladies, for your time.
Thank you.
Are we all ready for some fun and games? We are going to get the 80s guys up. Can we get Kyle, Matt, Liam and Mason on the stage? Come on, boys. We're going to start with Kyle, so give Kyle the road mic as well. Hello. Kyle, there's a similar feel to this. You done a press conference recently for the European Pro. You came in, and it was you came in against Chris Harper, who was a homegrown favourite. We're back in your country. Targets maybe on your back as last year's reigning champ. Do you feel a similar pressure to maybe what Chris would have felt when you were hunting him down in Edinburgh?
Like, I suppose so, because like at the end of the day, I am the defending champ, so I'm the person to beat. But
many podcasts have you done?
well, some people think they're the person to beat. I have the title, so we'll say that I'm the person to beat. But yeah, like I'm feeling okay for it. I'm ready to put up a fight for it. I'm not going to let it go easy. That's one thing that I can say for sure.
So, Matt Neese in his Q&A claimed to be the Natty King, but who holds the crown, Kyle?
Yeah, well, I seem to remember like the podium for UKNS not having Matt at the top, and then funny enough, the same for Worlds last year as well. Who was second place again? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Are you saying nobody remembers second place?
Well, I don't, so.
So, you competed at OSG last weekend. Has training been conflicted with doing 2 comps in 2 weekends?
100%. I've tried to cover all the bases that I can. Like, I can't train 13 events. So I've just kind of had to make do, trying to, train one event and, that kind of covers another event, that sort of thing. But I've done the best that I can with the prep that I've had.
Last weekend probably wouldn't have been described as your best in the sport.
No.
This weekend, redemption?
I hope so. Even on the last event of Euros, I feel like I really picked it up. Just having such a crap comp, to be honest, and then being able to finish the last event like that was a real confidence boost. So I feel better coming into this one. The weight cut felt a lot better. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Can you hand the microphone to Matt, please?
Who? Oh. Who? Oh, him? Oh, okay.
Hi guys.
Hi Matt. Matt, as I said, you said in the Q&A form that you're the Natty King. Is this the weekend you get your crown and finally get to call yourself the King?
Without a doubt, my friend. Without a doubt.
Does Kyle doing last week give you an advantage? OSG's last week, does this give you an advantage coming into this weekend, do you think?
I'd like to think so, yeah. Obviously, you'd think if he's only competed, a week ago, was it? There might be a bit of fatigue, might be a bit of tiredness, might have been a bit of a struggle making weight again or maintaining low weight, but Kyle's Kyle. He's a great athlete. I'm sure he's done everything he needed to do to get where he is now, but it's not going to be enough, is it? Let's face it.
As a man, Liam's got himself over there. As a man who's supremely confident, I'm going to ask you, not all events you're going to do well in, but what are you going to dominate in this weekend?
What am I going to dominate in?
Yep.
World's natural strongman, mate.
Which events do you see you running away with?
We'll go yoke into axle. I don't see me being touched on that. Log ladder, I think it's going to go pretty well as well. And I'm actually really looking forward to getting onto the deadlift. Deadlift's been improving massively over the last year. We had a big block on the Kratos bar for the Arnold's finals. Arnold's finals, yeah. So yeah, we've had like a good block on the bendy bars. So it's not like we're going from stiff bars to bendy. Like I've been doing really, really well with like the bit more flex on the bar. So yeah, actually, for once, looking forward to getting stuck into a deadlift event.
So the last question to you just now, this was going to be pretty simple. What's different to last year?
A lot less comps for me. I'm a lot less broken. Like last year, I was riddled with tendinitis, like every injury you can think of, really. Excuses. This year, the only comp I've really taken seriously is the Arnold's at the start of the year. Elbows, knees, back, everything's feeling tip top, so there's no real excuses. It feels good. I think just doing less comps has just left my body feeling much more fresher. It's been a much nicer cut into this one as well, so yeah.
Absolutely. Can you hand the microphone to Liam, please?
You take that one there.
Are you giving him a loaded mic to shout back at you as well?
We can turn it off though, can't we?
No.
We do sign language.
Liam, I'm going to go and lead with quite a cheesy question. You are the world's strongest zookeeper. How are you planning on taming the animals this weekend?
It's funny because I get to listen to like Matt and Kyle chat shit all the time, but I think we're forgetting that, they're not the only two lads in the competition. So obviously myself, we got Mason, we got Ruben all the way from Africa, so there's plenty of lads to be testing and to be putting under pressure, and I think that's what's going to be the difference this year is there's going to be such a competition across the board. No one's going to just kind of run away with it. So it's not going to be about beating one or two lads. It's going to be about beating everyone. Could be a joke there. I know, isn't it?
So similarly on that then, all the chat has been pretty much about Kyle versus Matt because they tied on points and Kyle took it on count back. Are you planning on taking them out quietly? Are you going to go noisily?
I'm going to let my work do the talking for me. So I know Matt likes to run a big game, and fair enough, he's looked pretty good. He's actually looked really healthy, as he said. Kyle obviously started the year, did incredibly well. Kind of last two comps, been so-so, but we know what he can do, and there's plenty of other lads that can do well. So I'm just going to go out there and let my last block train. Like I won Ireland's natural this year, second UKNS. So there's plenty of reasons why I should be up there too, and I'm going to show it down tomorrow and Sunday.
Best of luck for the weekend. Can you pass it along to Mason, please? There's slightly less fireworks than I expected. You've all disappointed me.
I tried, Keldo. I tried.
You did. Mason, you're pretty quiet on your social media. Not much to see or have a look at in the build-up to this. Are you the quiet, smiling assassin that's coming to slit these guys' throats this weekend?
I'm ready. I've been prepping for this, and prep's gone pretty well. I'm not too big on like posting stuff on social media. I just like training and competing, so I guess we'll see.
Obviously, you've already done OSG a few times. The level on the stage is that way worthy. How do you feel about the competition this weekend?
It's definitely the highest level it's been, and it's great to see the natural strongman coming up and there being an avenue for it. So I'm super pumped to have these guys competing against them, and I think whoever wins here, it'll be a legit title.
I'm not going to ask the three guys next to you a podium prediction, but I'm going to ask you, who do you think's your top three this weekend? Seeing how there's 4 of you on the stage.
Easy answer. Just 3 of us on stage. I don't know. It's unpredictable, and among 8 events, we'll see what happens.
Thank you very much for your... All right then, Matt. Matt, podium predictions while you've still got a microphone.
Matt number 1, Ruben 2, and then the guy from Amsterdam, I think, will be number 3. Irish boys just not there this year, I don't know.
Oh, boo that man right now.
Distractions, too many animals, too long a flight.
Thank you very much for your time, gents. So next up, we're going to get the Masters and the Juniors up. So from the Masters, can I get Victor? And from the Juniors, can I get 2 seconds to find the sheets? Jack Wadman's coming up for the Juniors, I know that much. Yes. And Ricky as well. So Ricky and Jack, can you join Victor on the stage? Who has the black microphone? Victor's got it, so we'll start with you, Victor. Okay?
Yeah.
Victor, how are you feeling for this weekend?
Yeah, I'm fine. I try the best for me.
Obviously, people will maybe look at 8 events over 2 days. As a Masters athlete, how well conditioned do you need to be to compete over 2 days like that?
I don't understand.
How well conditioned do you need to be to compete in 8 events over 2 days?
No, it's very hard. 2 days is very hard for me. I think for all the athletes.
Did you travel to Holland from Spain to qualify?
And Dutch qualification.
Yes. How was the qualifier in Holland for you personally? How was the qualifier?
I win in this. I don't understand. My English is very short.
So is mine.
Si quieres yo te hablo en español y no hay problema, pero.
I've not got a clue. I feel like Victor. Spain won the Euros. Do you see yourself winning this weekend?
This weekend?
Yes.
To win? Event to win. Joke and Axel, I think is very good for me.
Would you like to see a Spanish pathway so you don't need to travel?
In Spanish, in Spain, not competition for here. I think my English is wrong.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Can you
Sorry.
give the microphone to Jack?
Okay.
Evening, Jack. How's it going, mate? You all right?
Not bad. This is your first time doing the Natties. How are you feeling for the weekend?
I'm feeling good, but I'm quite nervous, to be honest, as it is my first World Championship.
You're not as new to the sport as it would seem being a junior. You've competed at very high levels already. How does this weekend compare to previous comps you've done?
So this comp is a tiny bit lighter to what I've done previously this year, but obviously it's a World Championship, so it's probably the highest level comp I've done.
Have you got any pressure on you, given it's a small field?
Yeah, so if you lose points on one event, it might be a bit harder to pick up points elsewhere, as there is a slight smaller class than other classes.
So with a 50% chance of making podium, do you have any predictions for the weekend?
I mean, it's quite hard to predict because anything can happen on the day. You could get injured, you can make silly mistakes, so it's just all depending on how it goes. But prep has been going well, so the plan is hopefully to get podium at least.
Which events are you looking forward to the most?
The events I'm most looking forward to would be the throwing bags, as I think that's probably the best event in this comp for me. Also the kegs and the frame, because they're probably my best events here, to be honest.
Thank you very much. Can you give the right to Ricky, please? You good?
Yeah, we're good.
So Ricky, this is your first international comp and your first comp outside your own gym, I believe?
Yeah, that's correct.
So how do you feel competing on the world stage for your first comp outside your own gym?
It's kind of surreal. I mean, I don't think it's sinking in, even when I'm here, that I have this opportunity to compete here.
You're used to, I believe you help run comps as well, so does it have a nicer feel this weekend, just being here to compete rather than having a hand in how it's running?
Definitely. It's a little bit more relaxed normally when
%50 chance of podium. How do you see your chances?
yeah, I really have no idea. I really want to use this comp to learn, just get more experience and everything. And if I happen to grow on the podium, that would be good, of course.
Obviously, with you running comps, would you like to have a hand in making the natural pathway bigger?
Definitely. I think Holland has a lot of natural athletes, which this stage is obviously really good to have more of in the Netherlands.
Thank you very much for your time, gents. Thank you. That's all good. Next two gents up in the 90s. Can we get Tom and Jan? All the way up the back there. Tom, we're going to start with you anyway, so keep a hold of that mic.
I'll pass the black one along, yeah?
Once you're done, yep.
Yeah. Good to meet you, mate. Good to meet you.
Tom, you come in as last year's champ. Do you feel you've got a target on your back this weekend?
Not so much a target, but I feel like there's pressure on me regardless. There's a lot of new guys coming in, so I don't think I'm the only one to beat if you want to take away the championship this weekend. But I think hopefully there's a little bit of good pressure on me with that title, and I'll expect to be a bit better of myself this year.
On the subject of pressure, your last few comps you probably went into the underdog. That's not a slight on saying your abilities, but you've entered a few heavy comps. Has that schedule maybe been too much this year?
I don't think so. I think the prep for was comp about 5 weeks ago, heaviest Sunday night show we've ever seen. And I think that's really raised my ability in a couple of the moving events, carrying events like the Oak of the Farmers. So it's got me a lot more confident for the Oak and the frame event this weekend. And whether it pays off on events like the deadlift, where I've been doing it suited recently, we'll see. But yeah, I think it's been fine. I don't regret doing those comps.
Lots of new faces in the 90s. Do you know much about the gents coming in?
Not enough. Not enough to know I'm confident about anything. So I've seen a lot of guys with some scary lifts. I think got like a 150 log from someone. You've got some guys from the Netherlands that are coming in looking very strong. Guys in the online qualifier looking strong. So and not to mention all the guys from the UK who have done UKs with a couple of months ago. So too many good athletes for my liking, unfortunately.
You mentioned about the events, so which events do you feel that you're looking forward to the most this weekend, and which ones would you rather never see in a comp again?
So, I think, apart from the bag toss, none of the events are like, oh, I'm so confident we'll just get that done. They're all tricky in their own way. They've all been tough to prep for. I think I prefer a nice sandbag loading medley, but I think the keg will be good for me anyway. And I think the events that won't be as good will be sort of the frame. I always tend to slip up in these sort of comps with grip. So I'm hoping that's not going to be the case this weekend. And the deadlift hasn't been going great. I don't really fancy a whippy bar. And I've been enjoying pulling a suit recently, so the raw pulls have felt a bit heavy off the floor.
You first mentioned the whippy bar. I believe in the rules it's to stop oscillating as much as possible. How do you feel that is going to affect a few of the guys this weekend who are more explosive pullers?
Not something I've thought about for the others, just myself when I look at the rules. But yeah, potentially you're going to see with how strict we're being. Our UKs, we're always at a really high standard of reffing here at the UKNS and at Natty World. So potentially some guys getting caught out with the lift and down commands. And hopefully I'll be getting more down commands than I did from Matty at in the dumbbell event at UK's.
Can you please pass the microphone along to Jan?
Yes, absolutely. There we go.
Both of them? Oh, I can do the other one.
Hi.
Nice. Good. Jan. Hello.
Hi.
Jan, you're a particularly strong presser, similar to what Tom was talking about, with two overhead style events, obviously yoke and the axle. How do you feel they benefit your chances this weekend?
Well, there are a lot of strong guys, first of all. I think we have a lot of strong guys in our group. I watch them all on Instagram. Well, a lot of them. But let's see, the overhead events. I think I can run through all 4 of the logs at this time. And hopefully the axle will also be possible after the 300 kilo yoke walk. So we'll see. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say about it. We'll see.
How has your prep been for the comp?
It has been okay. It's the first prep I had training for more than like 5 events, I think. So it was very interesting. We put in an extra strongman training day, specific day. So it was new for me. I did feel it on the body, but we recovered well. So I'm here.
You mentioned about watching the gents that you're competing against on Instagram, so are you excited about going up against MD in particular this weekend, or just being at the comp over the 2 days?
Yes, of course, this guy. I looked at him on the Instagram. The guy who came second last year, who was that? Pavlos. I saw him somewhere, I'm not seeing him now. And of course, I've seen a couple guys here. I don't know their names, but you know, they look fast and strong.
Do you have any podium predictions for the weekend?
Of course, yes. But it's for now, for me, it's a guess. You know, I know everybody. The only thing I know is what I see on Instagram, and Instagram is mostly good times. You know, so we'll see. We'll see. I know what I can do, and I can do a lot. So we'll see this weekend.
Thank you very much, gents. Thank you for your time. Two more categories to go, folks, and then you can get some dinner. In the 105s, we've got a few guys up. We've got 5, which is why all those chairs are out. So in the 105s, can we get Michael, Thomas, Matt, Joel, and Elliot up, please? So first injury of the weekend.
Still got it.
Who are we missing? Who's missing for up there? Yeah? No. Who have I got? I'm looking for Elliot. Elliot? Yeah. Right, we'll start with Elliot then. Can you get the mic to Elliot, the black road mic? That's it. Elliot, won at UK's. Simple question, can you take Worlds?
Yeah, I think the training for Worlds is very different to what it was for UK's. Obviously, it's 2 days, 8 events. I haven't really been able to focus in on any events particularly because it's such a big spread. So I've just had to like redline everything all at the same time. The peak's been quite difficult, but yeah, I think I've got a good chance.
Do you find with the 8 events and obviously the peak being difficult, does it take its toll over the months when you're training?
Yeah, definitely. This is by far the hardest I've had to train for a comp. The kind of deficits you get into with your recovery are really, really deep, and it takes a long time to come out of them. So it's been a pretty difficult prep, but I'm hoping it all comes together.
Is this your first 2-day comp?
No, so I did a 2-day comp last year. I did different federations Brits comp last year,
yep.
But that was 7 events. It was nowhere near as heavy as this either. So this is everything. Every event for this is pretty heavy.
We've got a question from the crowd, and it was, can you take Andrew Goodlad over 8 events instead of 6?
Andrew's a great athlete, obviously. He's so strong in some events, but you know, he has some weaknesses as well. I've got weaknesses too, but you know, I think it's going to be a difficult fight for sure.
Are you excited to see the quality in the 105s this year?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I have not done through this prep is to check out the international athletes at all. So I know the 5 guys from UK's, but aside from that, I'm not really sure what else is going to come to the table. So yeah, I'm excited to see what it's like.
Thank you very much. Can you give, is it?
Joel.
Joel?
I need this one.
Thank you.
You all right?
Joel, how has your prep been for this comp?
Ups and downs would be the word. So I started off very good, and it felt like I was flying through everything. But I got into a gut problem with my stomach like 4 weeks ago, and it made me drop out of training for a complete 2 weeks. Lost 6 kgs, so that wasn't very good. And then started back up, and I think redlining every event is pretty much how you can sum it up for the last 2 weeks. Training twice a day, making sure that I'm here already. And, well, I'm light, but I'm good at the moment, so we're going to go.
So no water cut, basically, you'd come in light?
I woke up at 103, so normally I would cut around 10 or 12 kg, and now I could eat up.
Do you think that loss of like strict mass might affect you over the weekend?
Well, the thing is, if you start thinking like that, it's not like you can do anything about it. So I prefer not to even consider the thought. I did everything I have. I really did give everything I have in the last 2 weeks. So I don't think I could have done any better with all the considerations that are.
We know you're a particularly good stone lifter. So are you disappointed no stones?
I was gutted. Yeah, absolutely. I was really looking forward to a big stone run, maybe ending in a 200. I know that Andrew Goodlad, I took the record from him. He's probably aiming to get it back. We have the same nutrition coach, so it would be fun to go up against him in that. But well, 8 other events, there's plenty to do, and the stone will go one day. Yeah.
So on that then, not on this weekend then, would you like to go to the record breakers and go head-to-head against with them?
Oh, absolutely. I was planning on breaking all 4 world records. I was hoping to do it on the same day, but I was only allowed to try 2. Barely missed the log, unfortunately. Did the stone, so I need still the axle and a deadlift.
Thank you very much for your time. Can you pass the mic along one?
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Thomas.
Thomas.
Yeah.
Thomas. Thomas, again, similar. How has your prep been for this weekend?
Oof, a bit the same story. I didn't have the gut problems, luckily, but it was with ups and downs for sure. You know, a lot of the lifts were like things I've never done before. So it was learning a new lift, but also pushing it to the limits. Yeah, I had some few very good weeks, but other weeks were a very different story. So yeah, I gave it my all, so I'm here, and I hope to give it my all again.
Have you ever done a comp similar to this over the 2 days?
No. It's my first 2-day comp, so I'm also very interested how my body reacts to that, how the recovery is. I was very happy with my refeed today, so that's already a very fun part to, you know, because most comps I did is the same day weigh-in, and I never weigh 105, so that's always a water cut and all that, so yeah.
Did you know much about the natural scene before getting in this year?
Well, not that much, to be honest. I first heard from it from Luke when we did Ultimate Strongman, and there I heard that it was an upcoming thing. So yeah, up until then, I didn't really know a lot, but you know, I see its potential, and I'm glad I could be here today. Yeah.
Last question for you, and this was one from Luke. Are you wearing your bucket hat this weekend?
No, I forgot it. But yeah, the bucket hat, it's a great hat, but I lost it at home somewhere. I don't know where it is. I wear a cap, so yeah, if anyone has a funny hat for me, I'd be glad to wear it.
MD got a funny hat they can bring tomorrow? The GBA one? It's not that funny. Thank you very much for your time. Can you pass the mic to anyone?
Matt.
2 seconds. Matt, you won the online qualifier. Do you think coming in with winning the online qualifier, you've maybe got a target on your back?
I actually didn't win the online
Didn't win the
qualifier. I think he did. Correct? He won. But I did get in, so I'm in the race. That's all that matters, right?
That's all that matters. How was the travel over from you? Do you feel it maybe it's going to affect you this weekend? Or are you,
Not at all.
Fine? Not at all?
I'm ready to go, yes.
You've done OSG a few times, so you come in with a good pedigree. Can you take podium this weekend?
I wouldn't be here if I didn't believe I could be competitive at the top, so I'm going to do my very best.
Which events are you looking forward to this weekend the most?
All of them.
All of them? Any weaknesses? You're not going to tell me?
Everybody's got weaknesses. With 8 events, there's probably going to be at least 1 or 2 weaknesses for everybody else. But I'm not going to focus on that. I'm just going to do my very best.
Will you wear a bucket hat tomorrow?
What's that?
Will you wear a bucket hat?
No, absolutely not.
Thank you very much for your time, gents. We are ready for our last 3 gents, standing tentatively in the corner. We've got Big John McClellan, Ger Buckley is in the house somewhere, and Stepan, I believe I've pronounced that properly. We're going to start with Ger, and if you want to leave him with a mic and he can jump in and create some havoc. Take the road mic as well, Ger.
Hello.
Hello. Hold both like me. Like that, sitting. Hold both mics, Ger. Both. You need to hold the black mic as well.
Oh, as well? Oh, sorry, right.
Ger.
How's it going?
What's the crack?
Yeah, I feel good. I see I'm the only one wearing competition shorts. Feel like a Power Ranger. Yeah, I feel good. Did this last year, came 3rd, so want to win it this time.
You've had a bit of a social media blackout, as they would say. Has it maybe helped your prep this year, having no eyes on you over the last 6 weeks?
Well, actually, do you know what? It's been a peaceful life there. Usually when I'm a couple of weeks out from competition, that's when the page gets its most activity. But it's been quiet. I've actually just been training, to be honest. So, yeah, hopefully I'll let that do the talking tomorrow.
You spin a lot of plates. You helped run powerlifting as well.
Yeah.
Has any of that maybe distracted you from training for this over the 2 days for the 8 events?
No, well, ironically, actually, I was at the Abs Pro last week, but there was actually Republic of Ireland's Strongest Man last week, so I ended up not doing that because of the powerlifting, so that's probably worked out well in my favour. So I'm coming in fresh this week. But no, to be honest, man, just motivated, seeing some top quality powerlifters last week, so I want to show a good display tomorrow in Strongman.
You done well at Ireland's this year. Are you bringing that form with you?
Yeah, 2nd at that, Ireland's Strongest Man. None of the same events, so I like the events tomorrow. Sunday, some good, some not so good. I see some big guys here. I think they will struggle with some of the moving events. I'm nice and lean, so it'd be fun seeing them sweat a bit. But yeah, man, I just want to win, to be honest. 3rd last year didn't feel good, so I want to win this one.
On the subject then, you want to win this. Any podium predictions for the Opens?
Myself, first, obviously. Cottle, McNally, and this fella in the black looks pretty big, so I might put him there.
On that subject, thank you very much. Can you pass it along to the big fella in the black? Stepan?
Yeah.
Feeling good for this weekend?
Yeah, I feel pretty good, and I think I could be strong, but we will see.
Is this your first two-day comp?
It's my first two-day competition, because in the Czech Republic and in Zurich we had only one-day competitions, and I'm really excited for that, and I think it will be fun. It will be painful for me, but I will show my best.
Jer mentioned that some of the bigger gents maybe struggle in the moving events. How are your moving events?
I think I am good in moving events, but my biggest nightmare for this competition will be the Husafel carry. It's pretty hard for me, but I'm really excited for log lift and for frame carry. I think frame carry is one of the favorite competition or events.
Do you know many of the other gentlemen that you're competing against this weekend? Have you maybe had a look at their Instagram, or are you just fully focused on you?
Sorry, can you repeat it?
Do you know many of the competitors, or?
I know only guys from the Czech Republic because they are my friends, and here I try to make other friends now before the press conference.
Simple question, are you coming for first place?
Maybe yes, but a lot of competitors are strong. This guy, and Nathan McNally, or sorry for the pronounce. And I think it will be hard for me, but I will do my best, and I will try to take the first place. And if no, I will come back next year much stronger, and next year I take the first place.
Thank you very much. Can you pass the microphones to Big John?
Yep.
Hi, Big John.
Hi, Keldo.
John, with Scotland so close, you're doing Scotland's Strongest Man. How are you balancing the training for that and this as well?
I've pulled out of Scotland's Strongest Man now because I wanted to focus on this. So made that decision because this was my focus.
We've got a YouTube exclusive that Big John is out, and a mumble of something that can't be repeated on YouTube by Martin Lennox. It's totally ruined every question I had. John, Jer said about the big lads being bad at moving events. Tell us your good events.
Moving events? You've saw me compete, mate. I'm definitely more of a mover than I'm a static lifter. I think it's my rugby background, so I'm a big guy, but I can move well enough, I feel. Yeah.
You won the Scottish and the Brits.
Yep.
Could you do the Triple Crown and take all three this year?
I'd love to. I wouldn't say it's out of the question, but like you guys have said, there's 13 competitors here altogether. Every guy is in their place. We all have advantages. One thing I will say is I don't think anyone's going to run away with this. I think every guy here and every other competitor has specific things that they're better at. So, but yeah, I think I have a chance. I'm not going to walk in here saying I'm going to do it, but I've got a chance, or I could maybe get in the podium, I think.
Do you believe this weekend is then maybe a bit more tactical when it comes to the events and trying not to maybe hemorrhage points on what would be known as a bad event for you? Not for just you in particular, but for everybody who has a chance at podium?
Yeah, I always would kind of go that way. You know what I mean? If you're going to hemorrhage points, you maybe want to just make up as much as you can on them. So I think it's as much a tactical approach as it is just about the strength, if you know what I mean. It's 8 events over 2 days, so you really need to be tactical in how you approach these.
Was it a really hard decision pulling out of Scotland's?
Oh yeah. Took me ages to make that decision. So, but I don't think I could have done well enough there. I've been focusing on this. I've had busy work, busy life. I can't juggle them all, so I had to make that decision.
Really sorry to hear you pulled out of that, but I'm looking forward to seeing you compete this weekend. Thank you very much, gentlemen, on the stage. Martin, are you coming back in? No. So that concludes all our categories. I can only say thank you very much for your time. Hopefully everybody has safe travels to where they're going. Get yourselves fed up, and we will see all your smiling faces tomorrow when we are ready to start smashing out event after event after event. Thank you very much, people.